YouTube. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the 9B90 podcast. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Wow, we have 22 concurrent viewers. This is kind of. I am very surprised at how successful it's been. So, thanks to all of you guys who are watching right now live. Yep, and it should be working because it's showing that it's up for me.
Yep, it's working.
But thanks to all of you who are here right now. And I think that we can just start this right off. First off, I'll just start off. I'm Carl. I'm relatively new on the server. I played 2B for a while, and I made the Bible, caused a few hundred people to get banned. That was pretty fun, but now I'm here in 9v9t, and I'll let you guys go down the line and introduce yourself.
Yo, I'm 1JSL. I'm like pretty new, like 11 months. Been playing. Basically, don't do anything other than make YouTube videos and dumpster Imperial bases. That's about it.
Astonishingly, I started a server.
My name's Sorok Drip. I'm mainly a 2B player, but my experience in 9B is limited to nuking Imperial discords.
I'm Solites. I'm pretty much a new fag that builds highways, and that's it.
I'm Nuke. I chug gallons of my own shit.
I'm Taco. I've been on this server for a relatively long time, and
Alright.
that's it.
Saying turn up mics, I'll turn down. Alright, so it says I need to turn up mics, so I'll just do that real quick. But I guess first I'll let you guys start talking about Twomad and the fact that, he joined the server.
Well, it was a crazy day. It did start off with Twomad joining the server, which wasn't that hype, but that's how it all started. JJ apparently donated towards getting him on 9B. He tried to join 9b90.org first, and then he called it the fake one. So that was a big proud 9b90.com moment when Twomad called 9b90.org fake 9b. That's a poggers in chat, I reckon.
Wait,
You know what's funny though?
9b90.org?
As well as JJ donating, I also donated and got him on.
Well,
Yeah, so I know at least at the time, Sirach and I were in a group call together with a few other people, and I challenged him to donate $10. He actually did it. I didn't expect him to, and he saw our thing, so.
Zim's waiting in the other chat if you want to drag him in. He's
Alright.
why would you time out people for 600 seconds?
Someone gets timed out.
Oh no.
You got timed out.
Fix the fucking
Wonderful.
What's the bot do?
Gotta love Nightbot.
Alright.
Alright, so Zim.
He's muted. I don't know if it's.
Let's see.
There we go.
Hold on.
He's just muted in general. Anyway, he'll talk when he wants to talk, I guess.
Yeah, I'll just change perms real quick. Let's just make sure that he can.
Oh, he's muted. Here we go. He can talk now.
Sub Zim.
Here we go. Thank you.
How's it going, Zim?
Welcome to the
You want to
podcast.
introduce
Hi,
yourself?
Zim.
Hi.
So, Zim, you want to introduce yourself
what's
to
up,
the
Zim?
viewers?
Yeah, I'm ZimTheDestroyer. I got credit for one time making a God mode bypass, and suddenly it's carried me to here. How's it going?
Pretty
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
we're all doing pretty good.
Wonderful to have you.
This is the height of your career, Zim. You are appearing on the 990 podcast. How do you feel, man? You must be pretty proud.
But I gotta tell you, I feel suicidal.
Yeah, I can definitely see how so much overwhelming excitement could make you feel that way.
We'll go with overwhelming excitement. We'll go with that.
Alright, so
Anyone got any questions for Zim?
yeah, Zim.
Uh-huh.
When did you're a new fag, but you're probably the most popular 2019 player, right? I would imagine. When did you join, and how'd you rise to relevancy?
Tell us your story.
I'll write some notes down.
Yeah, tell us your story, man.
Oh dear. Okay, so how about just a random idea? Let me go grab a cigarette first, and then we can talk about this. Because I've cut down on smoking down to like 5 cigarettes a day. So I just need to go grab one so I can actually answer that question.
Cigarettes a day? What?
Alright,
Yeah, I
so
cut down
Zim is
5
gonna do a
cigarettes.
cigarette.
I was at 2 packs a day.
Two. Oh, that's actually really good then.
Anyway, give me 30 seconds, and I'll come back and answer your question.
That
Makes
cigarette.
the complete.
Let
Do
me tell
I
you
start
a
playing
story.
Jeopardy music?
No, I think we
We're-
start
we're-
off
We're gonna
with
get copyright straighted for this.
Yeah, we're gonna get copyright straight.
This
Alright,
could be a
well,
certified
right.
Zim moment.
So first Houdini says I'm an underrated rapper. Like I only made 2 parodies, and
No,
people are just going crazy about it. Like
You're actually overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah,
would say
Overrated.
I
really
don't need all the
overrated.
clout, Houdini. I don't need it.
Zim just
Well,
took a
you're a
smoke
rapper.
break.
Yeah,
Oh wait,
would
I
say
remember
you're
you were in Discord
super
talking about being a
overrated.
rapper.
You should ask Zim
Wait,
what cigarettes he
ha-
smokes.
Yeah,
Have you guys
Marlboro?
heard like the 2B2T like diss tracks? Like Ciroc, I know there's a diss track on him made by BS Backstreet Boys.
Oh, what's it called? Didn't someone challenge Fit to a boxing match?
Oh yeah, I remember that shit. I forget who it was though. I saw it on Twitter.
This is interesting.
Alright, man.
Alright,
back.
then.
All right. So what was the question again?
Oh yeah.
Tell us your story.
Tell us
Yeah,
your
tell us
story.
your
How
story,
you came from just being a new player to relevancy, hanging out with all the cool kids.
Teach us.
Well,
Teach
so
us.
first of all the cool kids are actually retarded, but that's not
Yeah,
neither
I'm
here nor
pretty
there.
sure. And that's not new information though.
So basically, I joined May 11th of 2019, which was actually just a few days ago. Was my 1-year anniversary.
Oh, congrats.
I came from, I don't actually remember. It wasn't Fit. I'm not a Fit fag, but I had seen some videos about 2B, and I decided, hey, I like finding exploits in games. Before Minecraft, I actually played a game called 7 Days to Die. It is a very bug-ridden game. I loved finding exploits in that game. And when I came to 9B, I tried 2B and Constantium, and both of them lagged so bad that I couldn't do it. Just could not do it. So I came to 9B, and it was a great server. Me and a buddy of mine named Shadows, he joined with me. Unfortunately, he no longer plays due to IRL business. But the day after I joined was when the God Mode dupe, or Donkey dupe, actually came out. And that was my favorite exploit. Still is my favorite exploit.
Yeah.
It's been out for over a year now, and there are, even on 2B, you can still do the dupe with the donkey.
Pretty sure.
Like,
Pretty,
Does it work like
JJ said something like, "As long as donkeys exist in Minecraft, there will be a dupe," something like that.
Yeah.
Gandhi
As long
once
as
said that
entities
as
in
well.
general.
It's funny
Yeah.
about that too. The most recent, I guess, bypass for the God Mode Donkey dupe is the one that I leaked with the ice path and pistons.
It's hilarious. It really is.
Sorry,
And
How
there's
do you
like-
create the God Mode dupe?
Can you
Say again?
Bust a freestyle? No thanks.
wait? Can you explain like the logistics of like how to dupe or how like God Mode like you came up with the idea or?
Well, I didn't come up with it, but I was, since it was the biggest thing when I joined, it was what I started studying hard into. I was not a Java dev. I programmed for 7 years before I came to 9B, and I've never touched Java, hated Java, never was going to learn it. But the donkey dupe, of course, required code to be written. So I started delving a little bit into Java with Riga. As a matter of fact, the first week that I was actually on the server, I got access to Seppuku. This was before it was a public client, which actually stirred up a lot of shit between me and Fraz and some of the other old fags. But Riga came up with the first donkey dupe bypass for the first patch that JJ put out. I came with the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. So 5 bypasses that I created. Riga leaked 4 and 5. That was how mine and Riga's relationship ended. And a matter of fact, unfortunately, I was the one that gave JJ the overall patch for the donkey dupe, which he still hasn't incorporated, by the way, because Riga leaked my my information that I gave him about how to bypass it in the future, for the future.
Hi Tristan GitHub page ? Have you?
So Zim, I have a question. So which script languages do you actually know so far?
Silence.
Never heard of that, to be
Alright,
honest.
So Zim, I have a question for you on the topic of exploits. So with the recent map exploit in the item frames, how exactly did that get figured out, and how like abused was it on 9B?
Okay, so the thing with that is it was literally a 1 in a billion chance that it would happen.
So you're saying that not everyone would be affected by it?
Literally, it is so convolutedly hard for that to occur that I don't think anybody was actually affected by it.
Well, Zim, can you explain the map exploit in like a whole?
No, no. All I can, well, I could tell you that it's not like, okay, it leaks your coords directly to someone. It's just triangulating the coordinates. But it was, Riga actually came up with the idea. This was before me and Riga cut contact. I was in chat with him, and we were looking through packets for maps because if you guys remember, JJ had maps disabled for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's because of Zelice. I think he duped like all the maps and just destroyed the maps.
Yeah, basically. But you know, when he deleted all the maps, or when he disabled the maps, we were trying to find a bypass, and Riga found that it did some funny things with packets, specifically sending specific data to the client. And Riga never went any further with it. I did. I looked into it, and I found that yeah, there actually is a clause in the server code that would allow certain things to be sent that weren't supposed to be sent. But triggering that is another story altogether. Well, it got publicized when we were trying in the development channel. They were trying to fix maps so that we wouldn't have to ever have the overflow of them and having to reset them again. And as they were reading the code, they found what I was talking about, and that's how it all got patched.
So could you put some like minds at ease and basically tell people that their base won't be destroyed because they had maps and item frames?
Ain't I don't think anybody ever used it.
So
All
everyone
right, I
freaked out
think
for no reason.
that I think that definitely helps some people.
But it was hilarious getting the massive amount of just people flooding my DMs. It was hilarious.
I'm sure.
So does the donkey dupe still work? Is that what is that what you said?
The donkey dupe still works on 2B, 9B, Constantium, Old Fag. It works on every server.
So there's hope for the new players on the server.
Say again?
Poor fags just freaked out.
Does it work on Hypixel?
Yes. Wait, hold on. No, it won't work on Hypixel. So the reason the donkey dupe works is because, see, I don't remember what version they incorporated. I think it was 1.11. They changed how entities move. How it worked before was you sent input packets to the server. So that's literally WASD, forward, sideways, etc.
Yeah.
And then the server calculated your position and sent you back the position you were supposed to be in, right?
Yeah.
Well, when they came out with 1.11, you actually sent your position packet to the server. I think it was 1.11 anyway. And that's what allowed the donkey dupe and everything to come out. But even if the donkey dupe, the God mode donkey dupe hadn't came around, entities are extremely bugged. Like all around bugged as hell. There will always be a dupe. And even in 1.15, there's a version of the donkey dupe out. It's not God mode, but there's a version of it out right now.
Speaking of like versions, like 1.15 and stuff, I'm pretty sure both 2B and 9B are both stuck at 1.12. Do you think that we're gonna eventually go to 1.15? Do you think we're gonna stay here for a while?
Realistically, that's a question that I can't answer.
That would change the nether. All highways would be gone.
It's not about can we upgrade, or it's not about will we upgrade, it's can we upgrade. Because right now 1.12 is the most stable version that we have.
Yep.
You guys know that JJ runs 4B, which is 1.13.
Yeah.
And go look at how their TPS does with just 20 people online.
Wait, JJ runs 4B too?
Yes.
Yep, he took over that.
Well, I remember around a year ago when there was a temp map on, JJ for like 2 hours or something actually did put it on 1.14 and 1.13 for a little bit on a temp map, and that was awful. It was unplayable.
Mm-hmm.
Based off my limited knowledge of Minecraft server infrastructure, I know that as a whole, the programming behind the server infrastructure I know is not the best, and the way and the method in which it generates and loads chunks. I know that's the main reason why, because with all this new chunk generation methods and cases, just as a whole, the game isn't well coded. So
Right.
that's why things like, for example, Bedrock, when they made that, Bedrock was just a ground-up recreation using all the new additions that Minecraft had. And that's why Bedrock as a whole, the code was higher quality, because it wasn't just a one-man project. Because you have to remember, Minecraft in 2010 was just a one-man project. It was ran by Notch. So the code as a whole, like, he never expected the game would be as big as it was. It was just like a little side project for him. So by no means, in code as a whole, it's kind of like writing. So you have to improve at it, and there's a way of doing it that can be the most efficient, and people have to find out that way. So.
Right.
And Zim, while we're still on the topic of exploits, you most likely can bring us into our next topic. Do you remember when the supposed exploit of Houdini knowing where cords of shulkers were when you /killed?
Yeah.
Can you confirm or deny that being real?
Literally, what I think it is he has he released a client with a backdoor in it. That makes the most sense.
Have to fall for that.
And the reason I say that is because I actually have some of the shit that he was sending out to other people with the cords and everything. And it literally gives you, it doesn't give you their positions. For example, it doesn't say where where a shulker is per se. What it does is it tells you where they're going. Every 20 blocks, he has coordinates for that. That seems too much like a backdoor to me.
So he's tracking down the position that they're moving in, not the shulkers.
He's in chat. Let's see what he says about that.
Houdini, anything to say?
He's on.
Here, he's saying stuff. I just have to like show it.
Yeah.
Houdini's in the talk.
Okay, let's all spam easy in chat just to send him a message.
Don't mention me.
I hear someone alternating.
So Zim, what is your opinion on like JJ doing shit right without announcing it? Zim?
But if he has something, fine, whatever, congratulations. If he has a legit exploit. But I am 95% sure all it is he released a fucking cami skid that has a backdoor in it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yes, on the topic, what have you guys thought about, JJ released a survey, and in that survey he discussed turning timer off at spawn while leaving it on in the surrounding area so you could travel quickly.
It's been like a debate that's had for like a while now. A lot of PvP people want timer turned off because, I mean, I'm team timer.
Team timer.
I feel like timer should stay. It's kind of essential on IB.
It's been a debate for a while.
Well, my opinion on it is.
I mean, like personally, I think that 9B has been built around timer. Why the hell would you remove it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think
Travel
timer
with
is the
fun,
one
honestly.
thing that makes 9B different than 2B.
But what you guys got to get, it's not like he's going to disable timer completely. It's just 500 nether, like 500 blocks timer doesn't work. Just so then people who want to do PvP can still do PvP. So it's not like he's planning on fully disabling timer. He wouldn't do that. Not in a million years.
Personally, I'd be okay with him getting rid of timer at spawn once he gets rid of crystals at spawn.
The same thing is though,
You can't get rid of crystals at spawn. That's too essential.
That makes
if
it
you were to
easier
go
for
through and
people to
implement
escape,
some
and
form
also,
of
therefore, we need
way
crystals.
to prevent timer, think about it. If there's some way you'd be able to go through and prevent timer within a certain area of spawn, there's like guaranteed there's almost always a way to either get around that or use that against JJ and the server as a whole.
I mean, my problem with it isn't as much the fact that he's patching like timer. It'd be more a problem of him treating different chunks of the server differently. Because
Exactly.
when you start treating different chunks in the server differently, like what defines how you treat certain chunks. Like I know he also mentioned protecting map arts from being griefed, and at that point, like I actually talked to him about this, and he said the argument of this is an anarchy server is redundant, and I completely agree with that. I think that he's right, but it shouldn't. If you're treating different things differently, then it just doesn't feel like anarchy, because part of what makes it
Yeah,
anarchy.
I agree with that too, because griefing is literally like what makes anarchy. So like if you take away the ability to grief or to grief like certain things, I think that it's kind of too much control over what's happening on the server at that point.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing with anarchy is that, the owner can do whatever he desires. It's anarchy, anyone can do whatever. to the
But,
server.
with the whole timer situation, one thing that I came up with Z-Bob and some of the other spawn fags was, people complain about timer because people run away.
Yeah.
Why not increase the render distance when you're at spawn? Because then you'll actually see where people are going.
Yeah,
You'll be able to
I
run after them. You'll be able to
100%
chase
agree
them.
with that.
And that kind of negates the whole, oh, they're running out of my render distance and I can't see where they're going argument.
Now, one thing I considered was, I don't know how the logistics of this, but one thing I thought was splitting the world into two different servers. So one would be within 50k, then one would be outside of 50k. And what it would be is, if you went beyond 50k on any coordinate, it would send you to an alternate server that would handle all the stuff outside of that. Well, inside of 50k, that would just split the labor between two servers and therefore likely make things easier.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
JJ, won't have to.
Well,
make
any
custom
suggestions?
upgrades to
Send them
it.
to JJ because he's open to suggestions. If he likes something,
Yeah.
he'll work on it.
Maybe JJ's watching this. We don't know that. He isn't, I mean.
We don't know. JJ,
He hasn't
you're
replied to my
saying
DM yet, so I don't think he is.
He hasn't
Yeah.
replied to
At the
mine
same
either,
point, though,
and I sent
He
that a
hasn't
week
replied
ago.
because he's too busy watching.
at the same point, though, if you think about it, if JJ was to go through and change something like that, the more changes you add into any form of server, the more ability it is for something to be exploited or used against the server or other people that are using the server.
Mhm.
So there's an argument for both sides in that instance, in my eyes.
Oh, okay, I have a question. What do you guys think of the /G create, which is like the group chat and the chat messages?
I think it's
I
think
don't
it's
use
just
it.
I don't use it, but I think it's
people
more
can,
just a
accidentally send you
useful
cords and
thing.
shit, and that's not good at all.
A thing that a lot of people I don't think actually know about /gcreate was actually on 2b2t in the early days. I think 2010 to 2014 about.
Yeah, they had
/gcreate was a thing. Yeah.
They had a thing about yep.
See, it's just not like, why would I do that as opposed to just Discord?
Yeah,
Because-
that's
because,
the thing. It was
convenience.
completely
Well,
unnecessary.
if I can chime in on this one, the thing is, and I've noticed it throughout a lot of the community, when I first joined, especially, a lot of people actually use Discord. Like, even like groups of people that build together don't have each other on Discord. They communicate through DMs and in game.
Yeah.
So I think the group chat is helpful to a lot of people, but for people that use Discord and everybody knows them on Discord, it's useless for them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
Honestly, I'm
I
always
wouldn't
gonna use
risk sending
Discord.
my cords through it.
Zim, do you think there could
No.
be something in the source code that could potentially make it so you can see other people's whispers in group chat and shit?
Theoretically.
That was talked about on 2B for a bit. There was a rumor of an exploit involving that.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
Yakuza for the longest time. No, it wasn't
Yakuza. I've heard
Yakuza.
about Yakuza so many times.
Yeah, Yakuza on 2B, it was a griefing group. They faded out of relevancy real quick.
Yeah.
Weren't they the ones talking to Twomad or something like that?
Yes, they were. Yeah, they were the group that was that Twomad had joined their Discord.
Yes, Twomad apparently joined. Although it could have been a fake, username.
Well, anybody have any other questions?
No,
for
it
me?
wasn't. He was in VC
No,
with
Zim,
them.
I think you're good, Zim.
Zim, if you want to go, I think that you're probably good. I think you guys all agree.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Zim
Thanks.
definitely
Thanks,
answered the question.
Thanks for dropping in for our first ever real event.
Yeah.
And I think that your responses, at least, were very, very good. So I appreciate that.
Yep, Very
Well, I appreciate you having me, and
Yeah.
you guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your podcast. Unfortunately, like I'm extremely busy right now. I've got 15 things I've got to do before I go to bed tonight. So yay!
Well,
Have fun.
take a rest of smoke.
Right.
Well, see you later, Zim.
Thanks,
Peace
Sim.
out,
Yeah,
everyone.
have a good one, Zim.
Take care. You
Yeah,
guys as
okay,
well.
man.
Peace out.
Ah, what a
So-
what a
Alright,
lovely lad that was.
That was
What a
wonderful.
lovely
Yeah.
man. I would take
He's
him
really
home.
good at talking. He has a
I
really
would
nice
let him.
voice.
I would
He's
let
like-
him marry my daughter.
He already married my daughter, my future daughter. Just so you
Oh,
know.
So-
Married Vinny.
One other thing I want to bring up, going back to the Twomad thing. So,
Yeah.
knowing how obviously it happened, excuse me, knowing how it happened previously on 2B with what's his name, Rusher. Does anybody think we should be worried about any form of that sort of thing
No.
happening on 9B again?
I don't think so.
I mean,
It depends on, like, for example, Rusher, like, he declared war and started, like, an entire series on 2B2T, and I think that... Who is that? Oh, it's Tall. That's good.
No, what's up, Colton?
Yeah, but for something like 9B, someone would have to make, like, a full-blown series and, like, invade the server, because at this point, you think about how many people know about 2B2T as a whole, like, you could ask someone who plays Minecraft, and there's a relatively good chance that they know about 2B2T, and therefore...
Yeah.
You'd have to have someone actively calling, like, join 9B9T, we are raiding the server. That'd have to happen.
well,
Yeah,
in
Yeah,
my
well,
opinion,
Guys, may I say something?
yeah.
good.
So my opinion on YouTubers joining, right, is that pretty much they know for a fact that they're gonna cause lag to the entire server if the new fags know it's them, because it's always the new friends, sorry, joining them and just saying, yo, it's this YouTuber. I mean, if I was a big YouTuber, I'd join on a different account, and you know, because they know they're gonna get publicity, they know they're gonna mess up the server, you know.
At the same point, though, take Twomad for example, he obviously had known what 2B was through Fit, but I don't think he really knew much of like the implications of what he was really doing.
Right.
'Cause I think he
Yeah,
was just
well-
looking for a good time to have fun on the server and wasn't really thinking, hey, this is what's going to happen if I join the server. It's probably not a smart idea, and I don't want to have a large portion of that player base hate me.
Yeah, to add into that, I don't think Twomad really knew what he was like doing when he did that because he thought
Yeah.
that any book was a book ban. So like I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
he was really like educated on his situation at that
I
time.
think he saw 3 Fit MC videos and
It was a massive Fit
That's
fag.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Demonetized.
So
I feel like a YouTuber joining 2B is like kind of like
At this point, it's
less
commonplace.
likely because of like if a YouTuber joined, he had to go through the queue, his fans would. So I feel like if it does happen to the server, like a big YouTuber invades, it'd probably be like 9B or 4B.
But
Yeah.
2B's where the views are.
At this point,
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
commonplace for new YouTubers to join 2B. Because speaking from experience, I'm a part of a group that goes through and labels different YouTubers that are joining. And recently there's been, like 1.5 million subscriber YouTubers, 400K YouTubers. And that happens like probably 2-3 times a week. And
Really?
not a lot of them really like bring in people. But at the same point, they're still coming and making content on the server.
yeah, it's not like the fact that they're gonna bring in a bunch of people. It's the fact that 2B will get more publicity and therefore like just more like gradual users into the server.
Yeah, exactly.
So what happened with Venom on 2B? Didn't he join for a while?
That was in 2018, so at that point, really, the server wasn't saturated yet. Like, there was still a pretty large portion of the Minecraft community that didn't know about 2B as a whole. So when Venom joined, that, like, for example, I joined because of Venom 2B2T. So I'm kind of like an ant, is what I was
You're
called,
an
would have been
ant.
called.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think wait, is that tall?
Yeah.
The
that's-
tall guy?
That's tall friend there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so that brings us to our next point. We have the tallest 9B player in the podcast right now. If you'd like to unmute and talk to us for a bit.
6'10", dude.
6
6'10".
fucking 10.
Yeah, he's a
what a
big
unit.
man.
Big dude.
Like
I sure
you
am.
get big. There might be big players, but he's a tall player. You know what I mean?
Big
How-
plays, big bod.
So you
Bro,
want to
that's
talk
how it
about
is.
Do you want to talk about how'd you get so tall? Like,
Yeah.
what is the origins?
milk?
Okay, so it all started when I was born.
Hmm.
Oh
Hmm.
my goodness.
Insightful.
Honestly, I don't really remember how much I weighed as a baby, but what I do remember is I was 6'5" in 8th grade.
Damn.
Right.
And I slowly crept up. I believe in 9th grade I was about 6'7", and then I slowly crept up to 6'10" right now in my senior
Jesus.
year, which just ended.
Are you
So,
still growing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the thing where they X-ray like your wrist to see like if you're still growing, and they say I might have a few more inches, like maybe 1 or 2, but even then, like that would still be insane if I got 6'11",
Ooh.
because that's
Okay.
1 away from 7 foot.
I'm sorry to ask you this, but how big's your penis?
Well, are we really gonna
Let's
talk
send a
about
picture.
that?
You send a
Um,
picture.
Like, is it relatively big, like for your
Uh,
size?
Why are we
Here,
talking
you-
about this?
Why did we
all
enter
I will say, all I
What's your
will
shot?
say is that I knew I was gonna get hit this question, of course. Like that's what everyone is thinking in their mind. But all I will say it is longer than 7. So
So, what's your shaft to height ratio?
shaft to height rate.
Yeah,
Dude, we're demonetized, dude.
Bro,
Have-
I can't do. I just finished school. I don't want to do more math in my head right now.
I'm a 4 to 42.
Shut the
Bro,
fuck
I
up.
never heard of that
Yeah.
term, shaft to height ratio.
Well, it's actually a thing I made up. It's a
You-
one JSL
I
trademark.
don't think you need to
Wait.
answer that question. I think it's all right.
Yeah, you're good.
Bro, I'm gonna ask some random person that, yo, what's your shaft to height ratio?
Yeah.
But yeah. So when it comes to Minecraft, 9b9t too, you know, when you have your clients and stuff and you have multiple keybinds set, it helps. Like I have really big hands. I mean I haven't really measured them, but I have really big hands. So like it
All
really
of
helps
that.
with like
Yeah, I
it
saw you
really
sent
helps
them
with
in
like
public.
it helps with keybinds and stuff, of course.
Yeah, you have really long fingers, dude.
What's it like?
Yeah. Oh
With,
yeah.
what's it like with like cars? Because I know I have super long legs for my height, and when I'm like driving, for example, it's like I always have to like move my knees weirdly. So like I can imagine that that's horrible for you.
Yeah, so I don't really have a small car. Well, it's kind of like a smallish SUV. It's an Isuzu Rodeo 01, and even my knees go up to the sides of the steering wheel. So it gets really uncomfortable. My legs tend to cramp on long drives and stuff.
Yo, what? I only
Uh,
meant to time him out for like 1 second. He was talking out for 5 seconds, dude, when he said Fortnite. Iris Warrior. Can we talk about his map art? It's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Can you send a picture of it?
Well,
Here, want me to like
we'll
get a
also
picture of
have
it?
to
Wait, what's
yeah,
it? What
he
is
has the
it? What is
laughing
it?
that,
dude, he has the laugh
Wait.
of his shit.
Wait, what
Oh,
is
the
the map
last
art?
one.
Is the map art on the sub? I'll look it up right now and try to get it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Wait, tall man, I have a question.
yes. Ask away.
So like, how was it like growing up that tall? Like,
Yeah.
because I was like really short growing up. I still am really short. I'm like 5'3" and I'm 16. And like I got teased for it. Was it like the same or like the opposite for you? Like how was it like growing up? You don't have to answer this if you don't want to.
Well, like it's kind of weird because like I didn't really feel out of place in my own body. Like I felt normal, but I was still taller than everyone else. Like you know my age, like they'd be like 4 or 5 inches taller, and I was the tallest in every single class, every single one of my classes, like throughout school. So
Also, your teachers do.
I didn't pass. Well, that's hard to think. I had a math teacher that was pretty tall in high school, and I think I passed, or not high school, but middle school, and I think I passed her in like 7th grade. I was like about 6'3" in 7th grade, if I can remember. But yeah,
That's nice.
after 8th grade and up, I've been taller than all of my teachers, and I think even in 7th grade,
I
and
was
maybe a little bit
4'10"
before.
in
But
7th grade.
And then,
no, and
is that why you play Minecraft? Because everyone's the same height. You don't want to feel sad and left out.
I just
It's such an irrelevant question.
I know when I was in
I
middle
really, I
school.
really have to think. I don't know. Well, here's how I started. I started on Minecraft Pocket Edition Lite on my iPod Touch 4.
Same.
Same.
Bro, that was the stuff back then.
0.6.0 alpha, I think is what it was.
Yeah. And then I got
Yeah.
I got regular Minecraft on the iPod. This was before like all the stuff. Like it's gotta be like, oh god, it's gotta be like years and years ago. That's all I can say. But then I migrated to the computer. You know, I did a lot of single player, a lot of building and stuff. And then when it came to like anarchy servers, honestly the YouTube algorithm is what drew me over here, because I saw Fit MC's 2B2T videos. They're
Yeah.
increasing in popularity, and I
Yeah.
saw his so I joined 2B2T. I was like, hell no, this queue is retarded. So I looked at other anarchy servers and I found 9B9T. I joined last July, and honestly, up until about 3 months ago, I was really on and off. I barely played. In fact, I escaped spawn without any hacked clients. I was a noob at the time and I didn't know about like hacked clients and stuff like that. But I escaped spawn, made a base. I think it's 4884-54513. I don't care what happens. It's still there. It's an underground base. And then when this coronavirus stuff happened, as with everyone, you know, I started to log on a lot more, interact with the Discord, and yeah, that's how a lot of people know me now, is through the Discords.
Yeah, you're in public every day.
Yep.
It's on the
So,
grind to get clout in a block game.
yeah,
Imagine not
and
having clout in
also
a block game.
Aren't we all?
What's
I
your
just
shoe
like-
size?
Yeah, what is your
18.
shoe size? I was gonna ask.
18?
Jesus
Where
Christ.
do you even find shoes?
Yeah, so the thing about shoes is they could either be super expensive or super cheap. Like, I don't know if y'all have this where you live, but there's like a Ross,
Oh yeah,
there's like
yeah,
a
yeah.
Ross store. Like it's mostly like clothes for women, but in their clearance rack they have like shoe sizes that are like insane. Like I saw like a size 20 one time there. But
Whoa.
the thing is, like, all the shoes are super cheap because like no one buys those size shoes. So one time I got like a pair of basketball shoes for like $2. Like I'm not even
What?
kidding. It's like it's like 240 with tax. It was insane. I've never bought anything for that cheap before.
I mean,
Wait, you
no one
play
else can fit
basketball,
in.
right?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's cool. It's not a waste of being tall.
Yeah, I hate when I see tall people and like they don't play any sports. It's kind of stupid.
It's like, mate, you've got the biggest advantage possible.
Absolutely. And when it came to basketball, like I really sucked my first 2 years of high school. Like I was 6 foot 6 foot 7, and I was still on JV. And you know that kind of made me strive to be greater and to work harder. I was still super awkward at that age. I was still growing. But by the time I reached a senior year, I was averaging like 18 points, 15 rebounds, like 5 blocks. So I guess it applies to everything. Just work hard. And I got recruited to college in North Carolina, not UNC, but it's in North Carolina. So that'll be a fun experience.
I quit basketball after 8th grade. I was like 5 foot. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna play basketball in high school. There's no point.
Yeah, that's the
Yo,
thing.
tried
the
No,
Irish
football.
Warrior, when I timed you out, like I thought there would be like amount of time, but when I pressed put user in timeout, it just said 5 minutes.
He's screwed.
Now that you mentioned Irish Warrior, we can talk about maps. So,
Yeah.
Wait, what about what maps?
Should we bring the Irish Warrior on here and talk about maps, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah,
Sure,
let's talk
tell him to
about
join.
some
Wait, is he in?
Uh,
Yeah, Irish. If you want to get in here, you can.
Yeah, are you in the Discord, Irish?
The Discord is in like just the overlay, so.
Yeah, he's not in the. I think. What? There's the Irish Rebel. Yeah, that's him. That's him. The Irish Rebel. I think.
Tell him to get on. He's offline.
Yeah, make sure to confirm it's him.
Probably would be him. I can't imagine anyone
People
else.
really be changing their names.
Oh, he said it's 3 a.m.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
well.
Nah, don't worry about it then.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Um,
we can talk about the recent explosion of griefs and map arts that also caused JJ to make that poll.
Yeah,
See, I'm-
Houdini has been doing a majority of those, and it's been crazy.
Yeah.
Houdini's in
Something
the
like
other
that.
one.
Houdini's watching this right now, and he's probably getting super weirded out by all of this.
Houdini made me think he was a woman for a whole week, and then I started simping, like joking with
Bruh.
Houdini.
Wait, I think don't we have a woman in the group?
So it's I know that the one time that I saw you in public a while back, I saw you absolutely going off on Houdini. Like I don't know what happened, but you were like, I was like
joking
scared.
about I'm gonna dox him. I am not going to dox you, Houdini.
Yeah, like I saw you, and then I saw that you were a secondary podcaster in the server, and I was like, do I really want this person as?
Oh my god.
Well,
Public is fun.
Yeah.
Well,
some of
there
the
is
some of
one
the
thing
recent
that I kind of. So the thing with Houdini, right, is that his entire content is based on pretty much griefing videos, duping videos. Like, personally, I think he's a good person. So we need to. Houdini just needs to strive out for more content, like I don't know, how to grief spawn better with women.
Houdini, you want to collab?
Yeah, collab. Houdini collab.
Houdini, just know I love you, and if you find my base, don't grief. If you find our base, don't grief.
Houdini is a good dude.
Good.
Good man, I believe
It's
that.
just he needs more content in his.
I would agree with that.
The reason why I haven't been making more than 99T parodies is because it pretty much it is already a non-original thing, pretty much in other people's views. So I've been trying to strive for more, but I just can't. I can't think of anything. I don't have the time to do it. I mean, I put the time and effort to just come here and learn more. So yeah. PvP video so chill. Oh yeah, my song will be really good with that.
Wait,
Alright,
what?
so Houdini's striving out.
So now we can move on to maps now.
Yeah, maps.
Some of the recent griefs have been pretty devastating to some people, I guess, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure it's just a diva 2x1, a random hentai lolly face, and the thunk emoji. And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that's it.
Wait, so like,
Wait, are you talking about the Camille map art?
No clue. I just know it's been grief because he got posted in the Reddit.
Oh.
Does
Yeah,
anyone
like
else remember the Pepe map art?
Oh yeah, I
I
remember that.
do.
I got one of those.
I had a picture of Doge with a how text under it. I don't know if anyone has
I
that.
remember that one. I remember that one. But I think the Pepe map art's like completely gone. I haven't seen any copies of it in a while.
Hmm.
I think I'm like the only person who doesn't care about map art, to be honest.
I mean,
Map art.
it's a cool thing to see, though.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
I
just
remember
a
the-
long time.
Just
The only
recently
map art I
the,
had was like a. Oops, sorry.
Oh yes, just recently the new Mesa base, which was a big map art base, got griefed. So I'm not sure about those maps, because if people know, The Last of Us 2 Remastered, that was a huge map, and that was at that base. So I'm not sure if that's gonna get griefed, but that would be a pretty big thing if it did.
Yeah.
I remember the
pretty
only
sure-
map art.
We talked about Popbob and Police Mike and iTristan all joining the server at the same time.
Oh
They
yeah,
did?
that was.
Oh yeah.
They were all on one
too
Twomad.
much about Popbob.
I think we touched on it.
So-
So
Oh.
like,
Probably
what's the
covered
deal
on that.
behind that?
So I know
They all.
Someone has those accounts.
No,
Yeah.
no. What happened was this is other than the VC with them. They were just bored. Apparently they've got this group chat and they're like, hey, let's go fuck with this server. They were actually originally going to do 2B, but none of them had prior. So
Oh.
they're like, oh well, we should find another server. So then they I think they went on 9B instead. Maybe they were like watching pretty sure they could have been watching Twomad stream, which kind of made them want to go on.
But they joined before that though, like at least a
did
week
they?
before that. Yeah.
Oh, well, they probably just wanted to fuck with people.
Well,
May I say
also,
something real quick?
Yeah.
So Houdini, what are your methods for pretty much finding all of these bases, in the chat and everything? And just say it in the chat, how do you find these bases? Like, do you search the diags, the straight highways? I mean, it's just crazy how much videos you've pretty much sent out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a shock to, even the old fags. They're wondering, how the hell are you getting access to all of these bases?
They can have to unmute him.
no wait, I have to give him the role.
Yeah, I think I'm the role.
That said that
Say
he was
Houdini is definitely kept me on my toes these days.
Yeah, because I have a stash too, and I don't have a sign there saying it's mine. So if Houdini finds it, I mean, it's a really small stash.
we can make a video on it and get 100 views.
Well, yeah, that's Houdini. I feel like Houdini is pretty much he's a clout chaser, but in a good way. He's making good content, but he's not. I don't know how to describe it. He makes really good content despite it being the same thing. But his fan base, his stability, according to his like and dislike ratio and the comments I've seen on his videos, there are some haters on him, and me personally, it's not good for his fan base. So that's why I'm pretty much recommending that he strives out to get more and more. Houdini, I know you're not talking, but I'm just saying. So what Houdini needs to do, like I said earlier, is strive out. Now let's try to talk about Popbob, because we haven't mentioned him in pretty much a while. So we've already mentioned a bit about Twomad, right?
Yep, we mentioned it.
My opinion on Popbob is pretty much he griefs shit. I don't know much about him other than he griefs some shit. He has this quote-unquote sex dupe, which apparently actually works somehow.
It's 100% legit.
Yeah.
100% legit.
Absolutely.
And yeah. So Popbob, he did have the skin, the train shit. People were going crazy about it, and it's all pretty much bias. But my opinion on Popbob is that he's a cool guy. He doesn't try to achieve clout, or he doesn't try to leech his clout. Sorry. So, what are your opinions on Popbob, guys? Anouk, Taco, Carl.
Well, there's only one transgender person on 9B9T for me, but
Skylar.
anyway, absolutely my favorite.
Yeah, Skylar.
Oh
He's
no.
the only transgender person on 9B that I like, but
I'm transracial.
Transracial.
actually Val is cool too. But
I'm Indian, but I identify as white.
anyway,
Alright.
Oh.
basically what I'm saying is Popbob, step aside.
Oh shit.
Whoa.
Oh shoot. I mean,
Yeah.
Wait, we can't
That's
swear on this.
Calling him
That's
out?
the big call out there.
Really, you be challenging
What's he gonna
Popbob.
do? Use his thunder exploit on me? Oh.
No, he will
Yep,
log in
never
and
know.
place the last
This
bed in
wasn't
the
in our
bed chain.
topic, but can we talk about the starting days of 2B2T, like June 2016 and all that?
Wait, did you mean 9B9T?
Well, it's really May because he made it on the 31st, if I'm not wrong.
Wait, you mean 9B, right? Not 2B.
Yeah, 9B.
I
Starting
could
days in
give an
9B.
essay on the old days of 2B. It's the
Oh
historian.
well.
There was 2K,
Okay.
2K, and 2B. That's all.
Okay, old fags here talk.
So
I mean,
back in
you're
like
talking,
2016, it was really so the Discord community was active like every day. I'm talking about like big calls, and like I remember so many people got doxxed. I know Minecart, which you can be future guest. He has a extremely funny story about his base called NVHQ, which I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of at least
Of
once.
course.
Rip
I
New
already-
Valkyria 11.
So he had like his bases would only last around 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and I don't know why. I don't know if there's something wrong, but he would invite the people who he knew would inside it.
He has like he felt no. I've spoken to him about it. He feels bad not inviting people to bases,
He's
so
too
that's
nice.
why
he is way too nice.
his base.
He wasn't a terrible person at all. But I remember when he got doxxed, it was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, what
That'll
happened?
probably be covered in the
They
next
made a map out of
podcast.
his dad's face.
Oh my! That's pretty much how you get
Nice.
doxxed.
Dude, that's awesome.
He made
That's
a
so-
map
that's
out
not
of
cool, but
his
it's
dad's
Oh,
face.
and speaking of which, the the old friend role, we'll call it old friend on Public. It was actually like it used to be called like a legend role, and the first person to get the legend role, I don't know who it was, but the first person to get the legend role was someone who called Minecart's dad and like prank called him. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
I know his real name. But I'm not gonna say it.
Probably something really
Yeah,
wise.
don't do that here.
I know
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it, but I remember everyone just referred him by his real name for like
Oh my god.
the next like 3 months, the entire year of that server before school started back up. Everyone referred him by his real name.
That's hilarious.
Mm.
All right, I think that's a good time to begin to wrap things up. You guys have anything to say?
I'm
No.
gonna say y'all pretty much hogged like the first part, and that's why I pretty much stepped in like near the end. You know,
Cry more.
cry more.
Cry
Cry
more.
more.
Well,
Jesus
I have
Christ.
something to add. If you're looking to like feature on a guest or something, you can always message like Astonishingly or anyone in this
Anyone in this,
Discord.
Anyone here, if
Yeah.
you want?
Anyone in the Discord, you can
Uh,
message.
except for Mind King 222.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
my
yeah,
king.
yeah.
Message Mike
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
too.
I had to block
That could
him.
be me, Carl, Nuke, Astonishingly, 1JSL.
It was nice during the stream to have Mind King spamming me on Discord with things that I should
Yeah.
not say.
He also
Yeah.
spammed me on Discord.
Well, I think that's a good place to wrap
All
it
right,
up.
thank
I
you
think
guys
that is
all
also a
for
good place to
watching.
wrap
This
it
was
up.
very successful for the first time. I appreciate all of you, and this you guys all say bye, and we'll end the stream.
Yeah.
Later.
Goodbye.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
welcome, tall friend.
You're welcome.
Harder.
Thank you for being tall.
Cry harder.
Oh,